Greetings, I'm Blackjack Fitz, and today's puzzle is Venn diagram loops by Dorlir and yttrio. Let's read the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to place the digits 1 through 9 in every row, in every column. Whoa, I can never get the columns right. And every 3x3 box will have the digits 1 through 9. And it messed up my rules over here. I almost feel like I should start the video all over again. Why did I do that? Charcuterie. All right. We're gonna. Now, I haven't actually read these rules. It looks fun. We've got draw 3 one-cell wide loops in the grid that travel orthogonally and do not branch. So we might need. I was thinking normally when I do loops, I'll do actually. Are they branched? Can they touch themselves? Oh, each loop is not allowed to touch itself, not even diagonally. Okay, so normally with this sort of rule, I'll do like full cell coloring, something like this, and that makes it easier to see where it can't touch itself. But with 3 loops, actually, I might need to use the pen tool, and that's because I imagine we could have like overlapping loops, right? And so the coloring will get weird. That's not a valid loop segment. That was just it going wild here, but something like that could be fair. So I might need to use the pen tool for that. Okay. Each loop must share exactly 1 cell with each of the other 2 loops. Okay. So what I did wasn't correct there because I had 2. They were touching in 2 spots. So this wouldn't work because these are touching twice, and that's not allowed by the rule. How do you get only 1? So does it have to hit like a corner then? That's weird. It does, doesn't it? Each loop okay, anyway, let's read the rules and then we'll think about what they mean. 1 loop must act as a Renban line. The loop contains a set of consecutive non-repeating digits in any order. So this is okay. I'm sorry. I'm already just thinking about things. I think that means actually we have to have a very small loop, like that. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's going to be forced somewhere in the grid. Yeah, I don't think you can do a 9th anywhere because it would get you up to 10. So anyway, that might be forced. I'm not positive, but that would say that we need the digits either 1 through 8 or 2 through 9 if this was the Renban loop. 1 loop must act as a German whisper line. Adjacent digits on a loop must have a difference of 5. So if this was a 3, then these 2 digits would have to be 8 and 9 because those are the only 2 digits that are 5 away from 3 and that are different, which they have to be because they're in the same box of the Sudoku. Okay, and then the final loop must act as a region sum line, where box borders divide the loop into segments with the same sum. So let's just say this red line was our region sum line. I'll end up using blue, I think, for that. But what that would be suggesting is that these 2 cells in box 3 have to equal the same as those 2 cells, or those 3 would have to have the same sum as those, the same sum as these. Oops, that one too. And then the same. So each box that it goes through has to have the exact same sum. So all of those different color segments would have the same sum when you added up all the digits to it. Now we've got cells separated by a gray dot. We can see those sort of scattered across the grid here. Either have a difference or a ratio equal to the number in the dot. For example, a dot with a 3 means that 2 cells either have a difference of 3 or a ratio of 3 to 1. Yes, I know that I just didn't correct this. This can't be. I understand that this can't be. There's 2 sections in chat. I appreciate that. Okay, I'll come back to reading all the chat. Let me finish the rules here. So let's see. So what this is saying, this 2, this could be a it could be a 7 and a 5 here because that has a difference of 2, or it could be a 2 and a 4 because that has either a 2 and a 1, would work because that's a ratio of 2 because the 2 is double 1. So we could go 4, 8 would work, or 4, 6 would work because 8 is double 4 and 6 has a difference of 2 from 4. I think that's how that works. 3 could be, for example, 2 and 6 or 2 and 5 because 6 is triple 2 and 5 is 3 different from 2. Very cool little ambiguity there. Let's see. Exactly one loop must pass through the center of each dot. That is, each dot has exactly one loop that occupies both cells connected by that dot. Right, so I've definitely messed up the way this all works, but if this was a loop here, there will be a loop that crosses through like this section. We don't know what it would do from there, but only one loop will do that. I wonder if that means that you can't have, I'm not sure, like that as one of the touching points because, or is it just saying that only one? I'm not sure that that's ruled out, although I do have Dorlir here in chat. I think it's just saying that this has to exist. It's not saying that this can't sort of touch the outer edge of it and be the one touching point for those two loops. Definitely not ruled out. Okay, I didn't think so either. Cool. Okay. If a loop passes through the center of a dot, that same loop may not pass through the center of another dot with the same number. Right, so here's a good example. We've got, this is not an allowable segment of a loop up here because it would be passing through 2 5s like so. Right. So that's all the rules. Sorry, I was just like already starting to think about the puzzle. But there's a link to the puzzle in the video description. Please give it a go yourself. Now, with the help of chat, if you all are ready, I think we're going to go ahead and tackle this. Let's restart it. I'm going to catch up on chat because I saw a lot of people talking about things as we were going through here. So we've got pen tool is a good idea. Yep. No corner touches. Got it. 4-cell Renban. I see some discussion about this. Question is, can you do that? Now, normally this would be considered touching itself diagonally. I think that rules itself out. Too naughty for words. Yeah, normally you just can't have this kind of a thing. So like in a normal non-touching loop puzzle, you couldn't do this because these two cells are considered touching themselves. And you can only kind of do this pattern where these two are touching themselves if it's like if that's not in. It's kind of weird. I admit that it's not always the clearest, but by convention, I think that this is pretty ruled out. Yeah, so I think it is, but that's mostly just by convention rather than. I agree that with Michigan Josh, who's saying that there might be some argument to be made that that's not really any different than that. In the sense that these two are touching themselves the same way these two are touching themselves. And that's all allowed. So that's really what's broken. And that's the same thing that's happening here. But for some reason, because you have to have that kind of turn to do this, we've all acknowledged that that's allowed. And as long as you're not sort of turning back on yourself too quickly. So anyway, yeah. So where do we get started? Possibly, well, let's just think about through all these rules, what they really mean here. I do think what I was saying about the loops have to be corner touching is correct. Oh, geez, why would I do the example right away that I couldn't do? So let's say, and it has to go through there. Ignore the gray dot for a second. This is a loop the only way to have it intersect once is to come and hit at a corner somewhere. That's not fair. So many things are broken about that. But yes, the corner I think is the only way, because if you come in through something, you have to go back out through it. So that doesn't make any sense. So yes, okay. The loops are going to touch a corner. Each loop will have one sort of corner touch with itself. And interestingly, so actually this corner, if this was the case, this corner would be off limits and that corner would be off. This is definitely not it. Not just because of the 3, but you could have only sort of one loop coming up to hit that corner and none of the other corners are accessible. So, yeah, okay. Let's see. We've got a Renban, we have a German whisper, and, okay, so maybe it's this then, because we have an 8 dot here, which I think has to be a 1 and a 9. Is that, it's definitely not a ratio of 8, right? Or could it be 1, 8? Does that work? It does, doesn't it? Oh, shoot. There's definitely one. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yep, people are calling me out for that. But I think it's from 1, 8, 9, and there's definitely a 1. Can we agree on that? I think that's fair. And we'll do the same thing here, because I like to feel like I'm getting started, and that's all I can think to do. So now this is interesting because there's definitely 1 here. So this isn't a 1, 6. It's not pulling the possible trick that we can do with 1, 8. So this isn't a 6 ratio using 1, which means this is either a 2, 8 or a 3, 9. So we've got a virtual 8, 9 pair here, I think. Hey, Nolly, welcome. It's Carl, right? I think, if I'm not mistaken. Skojo, welcome in. Lots of people showing up. I love it. Startups also noting that there's 3 5s, and that's a good point because we're definitely going to have each loop is going to hit that. This is going to be tight, actually, isn't it? How does this work? I think this is actually probably where to start. Okay, I don't want to forget what I was thinking about here, though. I think this is either 2, 8 or 3, 9, because we can't do a 1, 6 ratio trick here. So we actually have to have a 6 difference. So it's either 2, 8 or 3, 9, which gives us an 8, 9, a virtual 8, 9 pair there. But we can move on from that now. So what does this mean here? This is interesting because I think also, not thinking about the way the loops are constructed, I think, which is going to be restrictive itself, but I'm just kind of in the mindset of thinking about the difference versus ratio aspect. And I think that these have to be different, don't they? Because if they're both difference, then let's say that was a 2 and that would be a 7, then what's this? Like, that would have to be 7 also. It doesn't work. So I think actually one of these has to be a ratio and one of them has to be a difference. And I think that, if I'm not mistaken, I think that makes this a 1 and this a 1. But let me backtrack here, because they can't both be ratio, they can't both be difference, so they have to be both. And if we were to do like a 1, 5 in this way, then this doesn't have a difference of 5. That's classic German whisper problem. So it doesn't work. So one of these is a 1, 5 because we need a ratio, and the 5 can't be in the middle. So, it could be 1 or 1. I take that back. One of those two I think is a 1. One of these two is a 1. No, that's wrong. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I would literally just confuse my own self. This has to be the one in the middle. One of these is a 5 and one of these is a 6. That's a 5, 6 pair. That's cool. That's really cool. I think that's right? Yes. I'm going to think about loops again in a second. I'll get to loops here. I see people making loop logic in the chat, but I'm still just thinking about this because I think this puts the same constraint that we had over here now, where this has to be a 2-8 or a 3-9 again also, because we can't use a 1 to go 1-6. Okay, so we have the same thing going on here. This is really nice, by the way, as far as the sort of mathematical break in here. I love that. Now we got to think about loops, because we can, I want to save pink, green, and blue for the actual loop colors that I know once I know what they are. So I'm going to use red to note that that has to be one kind of loop, and black to note that this has to be a separate kind of loop. And so this happens to be the one cell where they're touching. So I think that we have to have this one come out here and red come like this. Like that. Is that correct? Because it can't turn up now. I think it's got to do that and that. I think that's correct, right? Okay, this is, I think, the only way the loops can work here. And now this can't go up because they've already touched, and it can't go down because that's a 2x2, which is too naughty for words. So I think this black loop has to extend. Oh boy. Okay. And the same exactly is true for this. So we've got that going on. Now, does that mean that this has to go like that? I'm not sure. I'm wondering if this is the Renban loop and it just does like this right here. It's sort of tantalizing in that regard. Yeah, okay, so the red has to extend. Classic loop logic, right? So now, and then, now that it's in here, does it... Let's say that there was another line that went like that. What does red do? How does it get out? It doesn't, right? So red has to be... red has to be the thing that fills this slot right here, which I think forces black down, which it really looks like that wants to be a little Renban action here. Now we've got to get red to move in this direction, I think, all the way down. Red's going to be like a big old loop, isn't it? Well, no, I guess maybe not. What's interesting is we've got to get... Yeah. I'm starting to picture what this even can look like. And I think we've got to have, which is why it's called a Venn diagram. I think the way that it has to work is we're going to end up with almost like one kind of thing like this, and then one kind of thing like this. I don't know. Whatever. You get the idea. And then one big old thing like this. Yeah, something like that. And that's how we make it work. Where we have two interior things that touch and then one that wraps around the whole outside. I think that might be forced in terms of how it works. Now, obviously, the cells that I picked or whatever are completely arbitrary. But in terms of just like a meta thinking about how you get three loops to have the constraint of all touching once, it sort of feels like that's forced. Now, I'm not positive, but I don't see how you could have something that touches this interior, what I have in black right now. And yeah, the red has to go wrap around that and just touch one cell. It's the only way it works, right? We've got two interior and then one that sort of touches both. Yeah, I think that's got to be true. Okay, so I feel like we're starting to understand this. So those are the region sum and Renban. That's a great point, because we've got neither of these can be German whisper, because if that's 5, it can't be German whisper. If that's 6, it would need another 1 here, and it can't be German whisper. And then this can't be German whisper because that's 5 or 6, and it would have to be 6, and it would need 2 1s. Perfect. That's lovely. So this is Renban and region sum, and for sure that this one, 2, 3, from the logic we just did, it's got to be region sum, right? There's no way that that's the Renban and this is a region sum, because we're already at We're already at 10. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so perfect. Very nice. So let's kind of redo this in the correct color here. By the way, I love this open Dorlir. This is fantastic so far. And then this is Renban, which I think forces it just to be exactly as I pictured. Because we need 8. So, I mean, it's just got to be this, right? Tell me there's another way to do it. I don't think there is. And we know that there's a 1 on it, so there's no 9. I'm wondering if we can figure this out. So can we get a... oh, no. This can't be a 3-9 anymore. Could it be a 2-6? It could be a 2-6. Okay. I'm not sure we know that. And, yeah. This is cool. I'm not sure I can sort this out quite yet. I feel like these just being differences, there's a lot of flexibility there. So, okay, so we're gonna need a German whisper puzzle somewhere. And I can't. Oh, that's a great point, Marty. Thank you. I knew I pulled you in here and made you contribute for a reason. That definitely is German whisper, because we've done our 2 5s with the other colors. So that's the start of the German whisper line over here. Love it. The third loop needs to touch a Renban. That's true. Ooh, so that's interesting because blue now has to sort of skate around this, doesn't it? Well, it could touch like that, but it can't. No, okay, so this is interesting. I think I want to claim that the blue line has to like do that. I think that's what I want to claim, because if it's got to get around this somehow. But the question is, can it sort of touch here and then do that? And if it does, then green has to go. Okay, so sorry. I'm going crazy. If this isn't true, then it's got to get around green somewhere through here. So green would do that and then touch there, but now it's got to go like this so that it doesn't touch itself and it doesn't have a way for the blue path to wrap around. So I think that that's true, but I'm going to leave it for now because I'm seeing the German whisper joins pink at row 4, column 4. That's true. It must join there. That's a great point. So we'll do that. That might be interesting for this cell. I wonder if we're going to end up shading the German whisper cells. Because we do know, for example, I always forget about this with loop puzzles. For some reason, when I do Marty's puzzles, I think about it because I know he uses this a lot. But like those have to be the same sort of high-low parity. And that's because of sort of knight's move thing, because it sort of alternates. And no matter what sort of route you take, it's always going to be an even number of cells to get to any sort of knight's move position. Or not knight's, I'm sorry, bishop's move. Apologies. So those have to be the same, and then these have to be opposite parity. I don't know what the colors are, so I'm trying to pick colors that work well with the lines, but aren't our high-low colors. And I think that the green loop GDC is correct, and it's kind of what I was getting at over here. Can't touch the perimeter because it would need to take at least 3 cells on the perimeter to do so. Like because blue and green can touch in 1 cell, the problem becomes the fact that to get into a perimeter, you have to then sort of do a UE kind of a situation. A big U pentomino is the minimum number you could take, and then you have to have 3 cells in the perimeter. And now blue would have to touch 3 cells in there to sort of make contact. So green definitely doesn't touch the perimeter, which means that's a valid move. So that's a valid move. And now that's a valid move. And we can do a little bit more shading here. Now I wonder if blue, I don't think blue has to touch this cell. It could, though. It could sort of do this and then skate all the way around, right? That's certainly possible. But I don't think it has to. It could touch somewhere over here. There's another corner, and it could wrap around and touch like that. Yeah, okay. So we don't know that it touches there. But we do know that it's got to extend like to there at least, and then it's got to extend kind of like that at least, right? I think those are all valid moves here. Now, I think that this green has to cross this thing, doesn't it? There's no way that blue can do that. Because, yeah, I mean, blue... Oh, wait, I think I might have jumped the gun there. Because what if green turns off this way and blue touches like this? Yeah, okay. Right. I'm seeing each 6 has to be on a loop. Okay, let's think about that. Let me undo this here. I might be a little overzealous with what I've been doing with blue here. I think that this is correct so far, but this is possible. So I'm not prepared to kind of make all of the... I thought blue had to extend, but it's not true because it could take like that cell. Okay, so that I think is fair. Now we're seeing an argument about these 6s. And the question is, since one of these is green and one of these is blue, how could this one be blue? If that's blue, then green would have to come like out over here and then do like this kind of thing. That doesn't make any sense, right? Yeah, there's no way, because green has to be fully enveloped by blue. That's what we've sort of figured out. So for this not to... yeah, you can almost do it, actually. You can really almost do it if that went like this. Kind of like that. I wanted to say like that works, but then actually the blue would end up taking... they would touch in 2 cells, which is a no. Too naughty. And the green can't sort of peek up and do that, because then we have this sort of quadruple thing there, which is also too naughty. So... and then green would have to do something weird to come over here and get that. Yeah. So that's all completely nonsense. So green is definitely taking that. Blue is definitely taking this. Now we know that... Oh, that's going to help us once we know our... Well, not really, does it? This is yellow polarity. And that's brown, like so. Blue can't take another 8. Oh, over here. Does blue have 8? I really didn't do a good job of scanning all of these. Right. So that is definitely green. Thank you. Let me hit chat with a little thank you for that one. Much appreciated. Good eye, team. Love this. Okay, so now surely blue's got to take this this thing down here, because we've already established that green can't get into the perimeter. So that's definitely true. Green can't touch itself. Row 5, column 5. Good. Lovely. So we got some loop aficionados in the chat here. Now this can't come down. That's got to go that way. These are touching, so they're definitely connecting in one of these spots. Now that is interesting, because I think that means... No, I was going to say that means that the connection point isn't down here, but I think it could still be like that. And then blue could turn up there and move out of its way completely. Right. Can this be green up here? Row 4, column 5 can go up. That's a good point, can't it? Yeah, it probably could. It's definitely not going there. That's fair. Thank you. Yeah. Green could go up row 3, column 5. Row 4. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Okay. So, what's the next step? Do we have to do numbers yet, or is there more loop logic here? Oh no, we still don't know. Dang it. I thought that once I figured out that this was a 1, that I knew what was going on here, but no, that's complete malarkey. I'm wondering about region sum, because we've got a minimum of 15 there. Yeah, it could be 15, couldn't it? Which means you only really need 2 cells in it. So this is going to be also a 15 one way or another, no matter how the loop goes. I can extend my blue loop, I think, here to at least there now. Okay. So let's look at this clue up here. I started to look at this, and I think people are convinced that must be the case. If this was green, it would have to do something like this, which would be make blue's path impossible. Yeah, that's pretty easy to see once you just start to map it out. So that definitely has to be blue as well. Okay. Yeah, looking at some of the mathematics down here, it was arguing that this needed to be more than 5, but because there has to be a low on here. But if this is where blue touches, then that could be the low, and these browns could be high. Although I could do a better job coloring here. We know that's low. That's low. This is high. Or, sorry, we don't know. Brown and yellow. Whatever that polarity is. So that's blue. Now, what does that mean? That forced blue to touch itself? I'm not sure I'm following what's going on in the chat. So let me try to think on my own. Always a dangerous precedent to set here. Right. So... Very unsure how to proceed. I know what to do. I can make that cell yellow. There we go. Do a better job of that. I wonder if it's... We've got 2 of each here. There's a 1 down here by Sudoku. Let's take a look. And that's not it. Okay. Marty. I mean, I feel like, yeah, we're done, right? We got the, we figured out what loops go through each dot. Really solid work, team. And we know all the color of them, what they are. And what's the next step? People in chat making jokes. I'm trying to make a YouTube video here, team. Come on. I really wonder if I have to like think about. I mean, this is like Dorlir is involved in this, right? So there's probably some mathsy thing I could very well be region sum logic around how many / few cells can be in a region. I mean, maybe. They all sort of feel like they could very easily have 4 to 6, you know, or 4 to 5 really, mostly. Like maybe that can't do that because it would just be 3 and that would make it, you know, but that can still get you to 24. Like even 3 is fine. So I don't think that's it. That doesn't feel tight. I wanted this to be a thing where I know that there's 2 high and there's 2 low there. This isn't a 1-5 situation. So, oh no, but I mean, just by definition, these are a difference of 5. So like that works. But it is true that it's forced. So this is like a de facto monogamous pair, right? So if there was a 9 here, it has to be 4. If there was an 8 here, it has to be 3, along that line. So that's interesting. Does that force it more? Because like, let's say this was... No, I don't think it does. I was going to say... I mean, it's just the same, like it can't be a 4, right? It can't be a 4 or a 6 because of, like, but that's true anyway, because both of these would have to be 9, so that doesn't, I mean, it doesn't do anything, I don't think. All right, so blue, I think the only path that can connect row 2, column 5 to row 2, column 8 is a straight line. Ooh, okay, turning radius stuff here. If this goes down, yeah, and we can't go like this because then we can't do it. Ooh, that's a great spot, startup. That was a great spot. So we can't do like up or anything. Like none of that makes any sense. It's just got to be straight vertical. Oh, that was a fabulous. Nice startup. Love it. Okay. That's cool. Now we know. So we've got 4 cells in here, and one of them's a 1. So this is a max, 25 situation, which isn't super constrained, but at least we've got like an upper bound, at least. And this is, can this be 3? It could be, yeah, I mean, this could be 6, 9, 8, which would be, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of room there, isn't there? 23. Yeah, we're just still not constrained. It's just not it. That's not it yet. Okay. This cell. Row 4, column 4 is slightly limited in values. Is it? I mean, it's not 1. I don't really see how this is limited. Am I missing something? I'm quite possibly missing something, but box 3 or box 6 is 3 cells, I think. Box 3 or box 6. Oh yeah, one of these is probably 3. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I am trying to think if there is any way that pink 3 can be a ratio dot regardless. The top cell is very limited. Yes, this can't be a 3, 9. But it doesn't have to be a ratio. Not 4, 5, or 6 due to germ. Oh! Right. I totally was... Okay, yes. Tight. So it's not 4, 5, or 6 because it's on a German whisper. And so if this was a 5, that's broken. If it's 4, it would need 2 9s. Right. So standard... it's on 2 lines. That's a good point. It's not 9 because we know that we've got a 1 on an 8-cell Renban. It's not 1 because we've already got a 1 on our one cell Renban. So this is 2, 3, 7, or 8. Now if this is 8, that's 5. 7 would be 4. 3 would be 6. 2 would be 6 or 5. So that's 5, 6, 7 goes down to 4, 8 goes down to, is it just 4, 5, or 6? Is that right? So 2, if it's triple 2, we go to 6. If it's plus 3, we go to 5. 3 can't be tripled because we can't have a 9 on this Renban, so that goes to 6 only. 7 can only go down to 4. 8 can only go down to 5. So that's it. That's a 4, 5, or 6. That's wild. Really didn't see that coming. I really didn't think that that was as constrained as it was. So nice eye there, chat. Now, if this is 3 or 7, that becomes really forcing here. It becomes like 8, 9. Ooh, that can't be 3. Oh, no. Yeah, that can't be 3. That's really weird because of my virtual 8, 9 pair here. That's an 8 or a 9, and this has to have an 8 or a 9 on it. And if that's 3, then this has to be an 8, 9 pair, and we end up with 3 8s or 9s in this column. So that's not 3, which means, does that mean that can't be, no, 2 could still go to 6, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that doesn't reduce one of our numbers up top. Welcome back, Nell. Let's see. Isaiah's back. Everyone's back. Yes. Cheers. Just in time. We felt stuck there for a minute, but we're making good progress here. I like this a lot, though. It's very fun. Okay, so that three was, I really liked being able to roll out that 3 because I was hoping that that virtual 8, 9 pair was going to do something for me, and we found it. Yeah, everybody welcome them back. Cheers. 7 would be a 1 and a 2. And so that would have to be 1. And then that would have to be 2. Which would make this a 3, 9, and that an 8. Why doesn't 7 work? 7 would go down to 4 there. 7, 4. Okay, GDC is saying 7 doesn't work, and GDC is normally right. I'm not quite seeing it, so let's map this out. That becomes 1, that becomes 2. Right, this becomes a 3, 9, that's an 8. Row, but row 5, column 4 can't be 1 because of row 5, column 8. Then wouldn't that just be the 1? Oh, wow. How did you see that? That's crazy. That is so impressive to spot that. Yes. I mean, wow. If that's a 7, you get a 1 here because this has to be a 1, 2 pair, and that 1 looks at this. Either way, 1 becomes brown, and that has to be the 1, which forces that to be the 1, and those are different parities by our coloring. Whew, that's crazy. So that's a 2 or an 8. Now, 2 can go with 5 or 6, and 8 can go with 5, so that's not a 4 anymore. We're at a 5, 6. We got a 5, 6 pair here, which means that these two cells are the same randomly. Let's get, I don't want to do digits. I'm just going to give those a little flash. Those are the same cell. Probably doesn't do anything for me, but I like to note things like that. That's really cool. I can't believe you. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so, okay, so 2 becomes, 2 would need a 7 here because it couldn't be 8 or 9. So that would be a 7. And 8 would need, this can't be, you can't put a 1 on this, so it would be 2 and 3. So that's a 7, 2, or 3. I'm going to allege. Yeah. Now, what do we think about this 2 dot? Because we already have 5 and 6 on this line, we can't put 5 or 6 on it, obviously. So if it was higher digits, we would need 7 and 9, which doesn't work because we can't put a 9 on this line. And we can't do any, like, it could be 4, 8, couldn't it? Could it be 4, 8? Because it could still be a ratio, right? So I think 4, 8's a possibility. I think 2, 4 is a possibility. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, or 4. As a sort of difference of 2 situation. That one can't be 1. So I don't think this can be 3, because the only way that's 3 is with a 1. But I do think 8's still a possibility, unless I'm mistaken. It could be, I think it could be 1, 3 in this direction. Oh no, it can't be 1. Oh geez, okay, there's a 1 on the Renban. Let's be smarter than that, which means there's no 3. So it's either 2, 4 or 4, 8, and there's definitely a 4 on it. And that gives us a 2, 4, 8 triple, which means that isn't 2. So now that's a 3 or a 7 in this position. Okay. Yeah, people getting mad that I didn't remember that there's a 1 on the line already. Apologies. So now we've got 2, 4, 8, 5, 6, and 1. We need a 3 and a 7 in those positions. Is that right? I think so. So that's 3, 7 up there. If it's 8, it needs 2 and 3. And row 6, column 5 breaks. Row 6, column 5 breaks. 2, 3. Okay. 8, 2, 3, 9? No, yes, by coloring. Thank you. So that's a 2. These aren't 2 anymore. Sorry, let me walk through that logic. If this is an 8, this has to be 3 and 2 by our earlier logic. Now this has to be 9, but again we have this sort of parity thing shading that breaks. So that's not correct. So that is a 2. This becomes 7. This now becomes, well, not 2 here. This is now 8 or 9. The idea there was that brown can't be low because both row 5, column 4, and row 5, column 8 are 1. Row 5, column 4, and row 5, column 8 are 1 if they're low. Okay. Well, let's do a bunch of resolving stuff here. So that's not 3. That's a high. That's an 8, 9 pair. This is now not 1. So this is 1. This is not 1. That's an 8, 9 pair in this. We get our 2 taken out of here. The 4 is taken out of there. Right, so let's go ahead and just, well, this isn't 8 or 9. We can do 1, 2, 3, 4 and all of those. And then 6, 7, 8, 9 and all of those. That one's not 6 because it would need 2 1s on either side of it. This can't be, ooh, it could be 7, I think maybe. That one isn't 1 or 2. It can't be 4, so that just is a 3. That's not 3 anymore. This one, I don't know. That can't be 4, obviously. This can't be 6. Okay. Can that be 7? I think it could still. I'm not sure I missed any. I might have missed another reduction here. That could be 4 with 9 and 9 there. Okay. 3. Here we go. Let's get our 7 and 3 done up top. 2 now we know. Oh, no, we don't know. How irritating is that? 2 can be, you could triple 2 to get a 6 or add 3 to 2 and get 5. That's wild. I wonder how that resolves. So this is, ooh. Okay. How do we go from here? I'm going to say that this can't be on the green loop because, well, it would touch itself. That's the easy way to say that. We know row 3, column 4 because of the dot. Row 3, column 4 because of the dot. No, we don't, though. Right? Because if this could be a triple, you could triple 2 and get 6 or add 3 to 2 and get 5. I think both of those work, which is, it is nice. That's a really nice thing. Hey, Mad Spectre, welcome. I take requests, but I think my queue is full for tonight. So if I have the same name on Discord, if you want to shoot me a message there, I'll add it to my queue. And then if you pop back for another stream, I'd be more than happy to give it a whirl. If it's really tricky, I'll have to look at it first. Cause yeah, I've got 5 already at least. Yeah, for tonight. And I didn't give myself a whole bunch of easy ones. For example, I'm doing this one. But yeah, I like doing viewer puzzles. That's kind of one of the nice things about it. Doing it live on Twitch. Okay, we can reduce the 6 dot a little in column 2. Column 2, the 6 dot. Okay, so 2. This can't be 3, so that can't be 9. Is that what's going on here? Yeah. That's how that worked. And this can't be, yeah, I think that's all. Okay, or can we do more? Am I missing more? Not sure I'm missing more. There's already an 8 in, thank you. Very nice. I felt like you weren't just saying that because of that one thing like that. It felt like there was more to it than that. Yes, we have an 8 in one of those 2 cells, so that one couldn't be 8, which makes this one not be able to be 2. So, can we do anything with this? I don't think so. Can we do anything with that? Now, we know it's not, it's not a 1, 3. So, 2, 5 is almost likely because it gets our 5 out of the way. But yeah, I don't know. Is there more Sudoku we can do? There's a 7 down in one of these 2. If that's a 7, that's a 5 or a 9. It's not a 9. So if that's a 7, that's a 5. But if that's a 7, I don't know. Nothing, maybe. Is there any other? I mean, there's no 8 or 9 in there. Yeah, 8, 9. We've got some 8, 9 pair action, but both there and there. Which means that's not an 8 or a 9. That's a minor deduction, right? Because this is the same as that, and this is the same as... I think these have to be different, right? Yeah, this is that, and this is that, which means these 2 are different, which means that can't be 8 or 9. This is like the most minor deduction. But now I know this isn't a 3, 9, because that can't be 9 or 3. Yeah, I don't know if that's... I don't think that's the point. That's the next step. We can reduce the box 9, 5. Where does 5 go? Is that what we're getting at? Row 8, column 5. Well, I think I missed stuff in chat. People are getting mad because I'm not seeing their brilliant deductions and putting them to good use. Oh, I can't see it. Isaiah coming in hot with the region sum line between 15 and 27. Row 8, column 5. Row 8, column 5. This cell. That can't be on the loop because I don't actually see the deduction, but I'm pretty confident that it's pointing out that this sees an 8. This would have to be high because of our sort of parity, and it sees an 8, 9, 7. So I'm assuming that this is what was being pointed out to me. Startup pointing to a GDC comment I never saw. This can't be a 6 because both of these would have to be 1, and that's not possible. Ergo, the green line must turn up and do that. Which does mean, actually, that makes me inclined to think that that's what this clue was there for, was to prevent us from thinking that's a possibility. So now, yeah, I mean, I think you could do that still. Okay, this now needs to be a high brown digit, which could be 7, 8, or 9. Okay. People are arguing about the min-max of the region sum line. I don't want to think about that because I don't think that's the step, but they're having fun. If it is the step, please tell me to think about it. I don't think that's the step. Not quite yet, anyway. Yeah. So, if this went up, it's still possible that that can go up. Now, let's see, we've got, yeah, I don't know if this went, if it took this cell, it has to be a 1. Like if the green line goes to there, that's a 1. Because we already have 2 and 3 in the box, and it can't go from 7 to 4. So if the green line proceeds that way, it's got to be a 1. Whereas if it goes that way, it's got to be a 2. Which would make that a 3. And give us another 8. This would not be 7. Yeah, so if that's a 2, what does that do? It puts a 2 in one of these 2 spots. If that's a 1, it puts a 1 over here, not in this. So, Okay, Skojo's claiming he's got it. Either way puts a 3 next to that potential 7 in box 8. Either way puts a 3 next to this? Oh, what? It's from all the things I was just saying. That's really cool. So, okay. If this is a 2, so this is either this or this. The green line's doing one of those two things. If it goes up, that's a 2, making that a 3. That can't be 7. If that's a 1, then the 1's over here, meaning that the lowest these can be is a 2, 3, and that can't be 7. So that's never 7. Wow. Okay, so that becomes a 7 now, which does make this a 5. We talked about that. Okay. Can I do some filling in on these cells? We have 2, 3, 4, and 6. That one's not 2 or 3. Yeah, I don't think that was it. But that was quite cool, actually. So one of these is a 3. So this can't be 3, right? Didn't we? I mean, wasn't that the claim that we just sort of proved that one of these is a 3? because either that's a 1 and then there's a 1 over here and then we need a... Well, no, that could be a 4, but either... Oh, yeah. No, we don't know that's a 3. It was a 3 or higher, because technically if this went over here to 1, this could be a 2, 4, because 4 is still a possibility. So we don't know that one of those is a 3. Oh, there's so much going on in chat. Row 8, column 6 can never be 1, or is never 1 because of column 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so row 8, column 6, row 8, column 6 can never be 1 because of column 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. If this is a 1, then yes. Okay, fair enough. If that's 1, then where do you put 1 in this box? In box 5. It doesn't work. So that's not 1. That's fair. I'll allow that. Which does put a 1 over here. Which does put a 1 in here. That's not it. So it's one of those two. It does make me think that that's what's happening there. In fact, so 1 in this box is fairly limited, but not quite good enough yet, I don't think. Yeah. Row 2, column 8 can only be 4, 5, or 6. Because the cell below it cannot be 5 or 6, which eliminates the possibility of this being a 2. Okay, let's think about that. You might be onto something. We have a 5, 6 pair, so let's start by getting rid of that 6. So we have a 5, 6 pair. So so what's this, right? It's not 1, 5, or 6. So this can't be a 2 because triple to 6 doesn't work, or plus 3 to 5 doesn't work. So that's not a 2. It's not a 1 or a 3. If that's so 4, 5, or 6 is the claim. Those all work. It's not 7. If it's 8, it would have to go down to 5, which doesn't work. If it's 9, it has to go down to 6, which doesn't work. So I agree. That is 4, 5, or 6. And which means it's a difference number, doesn't it? Because it can't be, none of these can be tripled anymore. So this 6 could go to 3, or I mean, there's probably a ton of possibilities now. 4 can't go to 1, so 4 could only go to 7. But 5 could go to 2 or 8, I think. So that's true, but I'm not sure where it gets me, unfortunately. But good spot, Matt Spectre, I think. Okay. Can't it be 2, 6? There's a 5, 6 pair here. So it can be 2, 6 going this direction, but this cell can't be a 2 because we've got a 5, 6 pair. Yes, so this cell can be 2. That is true, and it could still be a 2, 6. You're right. I did say that it can't be. It's got to be a difference. That's not true. You're right. I apologize. Oh, coloring 8, 9s. All right, I'll do it. So we'll flash that green and blue, green. Oh, I already used the green for these. I don't need that green for that. That's silly. That 5, 6. How does that? Where does that get me? Do I know what? I mean, can I do beyond that? How do I get green in box 8? Is there? Yes, I can get that. Right. So blue's up here, but it could still be there, couldn't it? There, couldn't it? Okay. So then this sees, oh, geez, that's really good. That's a 7. That's a 2. These aren't 2. That worked out really nice. Yeah, so this cell saw both the blue version of 8, 9 and the green version of 8, 9. Yeah, very nice. Good idea. This now, do we know? I don't think we do know. is in column 4. Blue in box 8 is in column 4. That's true. Which means we've got a blue up here. Yeah. That's true. But that was I think that was the juicy bit there. So now we are not looking at 2-6. We still don't know what that does. Oh, but yeah, this was correct. Whoever said earlier that we had 2 different versions of this. One of these is a 1-8 ratio, and one of these is a 1-9 difference. Row 2, column 8 can't be 4 anymore because that required this to be a 7. And it's now not 2-5, so it could be 8-5. Or it could be 9-6, or it could be 3-6. I think those are all the possibilities. Is that right? I think that might be right. 2 in box 8 is over here. Oh, is it? 2 is there. Very nice. That's not 2. Okay. So, yeah, if this is... That could be the green cell, or it's 3, because we've got the blue one there. This now has to be 8, which gives us 8, lots of 8, fun 8 stuff here. That's because of the blue dot there. Thank you to GDC. 4, column 6. Green. This is a 9 also. Green in row 4, column 6. I don't think we do we? I'm not sure what that means. Oh, okay, so this 7 now can't turn up anymore. So this has to go that way, which is making it a 1. Yeah, so this had to be a 2, which it can't be anymore. Right. So that's good. So this is 1, which needs to go to... Irritatingly, oh no, okay, that can't go down anymore, or that can't go down. So this either extends out to 9 specifically, or it goes up. No, it can't go. Oh, it could, couldn't it? Just like that. Is that still the only way it can do that? What would it be though? 1, 2. Yeah, I still think that that's possible, isn't it? 1. It could even be 6. Oh no, 1, 8. 1, 8. And then low digit. And then a 9. And then a 3. 9, 6, 3. Yeah, irritatingly, I think that's still possible. And then the blue would have to come out this way, come all the way down and around, and never touch it again. Ooh, man. Okay, well, that's not 8 anymore. So that's 3 or 9, which means this is a 6, doesn't it? Because the only way that was 5 was if it was 8, so that's the 6 here. And I'm wondering if we can rule out this being a 3 actually from our mathematics now, because this would be, I think it could still be 8, 14, 17. Have we thought about our minimums? Who's done the math? I saw people doing the maths before. What was our thinking here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I think that could still be, well, it can't be a 3. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, which is 18 is a minimum. 8 and 6 and 3 is, oh, but this could turn that way. Ugh, all right, never mind. Sorry. I'm being silly. And it can't have 5 and 6. Oh, you're right. Okay, so the minimum in this is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. Because we can't have both 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 7. What's that math? 1, 2, 4 is 6, 7. 7 is 14, 19. So 19 is our min now. So if this was a 3, it would have to turn there. Because even if we made that an 8 and 6 is 14 and 3 is 17. Is that what I just said it could be? Oh, geez, I can't remember. All right. I'm sorry if I missed some beautiful logic that people were putting in chat. There was a lot of stuff coming at me at once. So I don't doubt that there was... all right, let's read what Dorlir wrote about the logic that was intended. If row 7, column 6 here was 8, then row 6, column 5, is 9, and that makes the 6 dot in column 2 a 2, 3 pair. 6 dot in column 2, a 2, 3 pair. If this is 8, this is 9, and that makes the 6 dot in column 2 a 2, 3 pair. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. As opposed to, I think what did we do? Coloring 8s and 9s and got this one to be 7 and then used some loop logic or something like that. Okay. Okay. So I think I'm caught up on chat. Nobody's put any new brilliancies that I can see so far. So let's try to make some more progress here. An hour in. So what's our next brilliant step? This has got to go to a low digit. If it's there, it's 3. If it's there, it could be 2 or 3, I think. One of those is a low digit. If this goes over, it can't be 7 or 8 or 1 because it can't connect to that one. Oh, could it be 1, 6, 1? No, that won't work because then it would have to do this kind of thing, which isn't allowed. So yes, if this goes there, it's a 9, and then this is an 8, which makes that a 3. Which makes that a 3. Which makes that a 9. I feel like I'm venturing too far here. Wait, what did I say this would have to be? Yeah, 9. Yeah, that's true. Okay. If this is a 9, and slightly restricted in box 6, but not well enough, I'm afraid. Okay. Do we know what's going on here? I don't think we do yet. Okay, if it goes up, maybe we can rule this out. If this goes up, it has to be a higher digit. But it's not a 6, 7, or 9. So that's an 8. And now it has to turn this way. Which means it's got to be a 1, 2, or 3. And then it has to take this cell, which has to be a 9. So it would be 8, low digit, 9. And then this comes down and has to be a 3 here. 3, 9, 3, 9. Or this goes over here and that's 8. And then these have to connect somewhere with a... Wait, what did I say this would have to be? Oh, 9, wouldn't it? 1, 9, yeah. I don't see that breaking yet. All right. Carl is saying, I think Carl's Nolly. I always forget, and I'm sorry for that. So Nolly's saying, place 5 in column 8. That's not 5. So 5 is one of these two. Okay. First column 4. Where is 5 in column 4? It's in one of these two. Ooh. What about these two are the same. So 5 is in one of those two, and then 5 is in one of these two. Oh, I see. I got it. 5. We've got. Oh, that's really nice. Those are the only places for 5s. In this column, the only place for 5 is one of these two. So one of those two is 5. And we also know there's a 5 in one of those two, which gives us a 5 X-wing. The question is, where does 5 go in this row? And the answer is one of these two places, which means where does 5 go in this column? It can't go there. That's really crazy. You guys are so good at this. So good at Sudoku. Yes, I love that. So 5, because the only place for 5 in row 2 is one of these two. None of those can be 5. That can't be 5. None of these are 5. That's the only place for 5. It's a digit. Now, that means that this can't go up. Oh, that solves it. Was that the thing? Oh, wow. I wonder if that was the step. I mean, presumably that's the step. This has to go over now, and this can't go up and around, and this can't go down, and it can't go up and around. So this goes like this, and now these have to just connect up. And we get to do some stuff because we said that this has to be 9, that has to be 8. This now has to be a 3 or a 4. No, a 2 or a 3, sorry. What am I doing? 2 or a 3. Okay, now we have this giant. We've got 2 of our loops completed. I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna get rid of my coloring actually because it's a little distracting, and I don't think it's helping me at this point. Yeah, really cool. Row 8, column 6. Row 8, column 6 now. Can't be a 4 anymore. Thank you. That's a 3. That's not 3. 4, 6 pair gives us a 3 here and a 9 there, which is what I was expecting because of this sort of length of this line, relative to some of the other ones. Now, did that do any more Sudoku we can do? What are these 2 digits? 2, 3. So 4, 5, and 6. Definitely a 5 in there. Okay, I don't think that gets me very far. What are these 2 digits? 1, 2. We need a 3 and a 4. Yeah. Okay. So, a needle pulling thread. Imagine doing Sudoku in a Sudoku puzzle. Next step, please. Let's do these 2 digits. We need a 1, 3, 6. I think. Okay. Any other rows that are sort of really well populated? Let's see. There's got to be a 2 up here, doesn't there? Yeah, 1, 2. 2 and an 8 on this. 2 and 8 up there. I don't think that does it. If the blue loop visits the 8 in row 5, column 8, it would be very forcing. I mean, I can see all of that. It would be forcing because of Um, what's the blue line? It's region sum, yes. Okay. If the, yeah, row 2 column 7 limits the sum options. 2 column 7 limits the sum options. This. Well, do we know that it, oh, if, I mean, yes. Right, okay, so on the presumption that this goes straight down, then we would have a 3-cell, I mean, maybe we just want to think about, can this be 3 cells? I mean, we're at 15 already. So this can't be 6 or 9 or 7. So if this isn't 8, the most it could be is 5, and we could get to 20. But I think our min total right now is only, what was it, 19? 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. So 1, 2, and 4 is 7, plus 7 is 14, plus 5 is 19. So I think our min total over here is 19 still. So this would have to, but yeah, I mean, this could be 5 or 8. It's still 2 options. Oh, it can't be 8 anymore. It would be 5. Right, I'm sorry, I didn't see this 8. Okay, so if this goes straight down, this is a 20, and this becomes very forced over here. It would have to be 1, 2. It doesn't have to, because it could, the 6 or the 5 could jump to 6, or the 7 could jump to 8 on that. But it would give us the total. If this goes down, instead of turning over, we know the exact total. That's a 5, and we're having a 20 total region sum line, which means these two would have to be sum to 10. Which means that couldn't be a 2 or an 8. That would give us a 2-8 pair. That couldn't be a 5, so that would have to be the 5. 6, 5. So then what would be left? It couldn't be 9, 1, 7, 3, 2, 8. This would have to be 4, 6 pair. So that would have to be 4. That would have to be 6. 2 and 8 and 5. Oh, I think it works. I thought we might have been able to rule that out. Then we could know that it would take that 4th cell there. Is there another way we can rule that out? It would be exactly 20. Exactly. This could, oh, even, I mean, that could even take the 2. So this is like not forced at all. Shoot. Min is 1, 3, 4, 5, and 9. Okay, so 9. Oh. Okay. Okay. Let me see what. Yeah. Okay. The 9 in box 9 is on the right. So it's in one of those 2 cells. So if the only way this isn't on the loop is if it does that, and that's the 9. Hold on. So the minimum, if this doesn't take the 2, is it has to take the 9, right? So I'm seeing 22 in chat. Okay, I'm gonna trust that number because I see multiple people doing it. So I don't think we can take the 8, because if we take the 8, then this has to go straight down. This is 20, and this has to be, this now can't take the 2 because we went and took the 8. So that's not on the loop. All of that to prove that does that. Oops. I think that's all that does. It does that. Because we haven't proved that it takes the 2. We were hypothesizing that this, could that exist? And that breaks. And the reason that that breaks, let me explain it a little bit more clearly. If we do that, that's the one spot that green can touch, that the region sum line can touch green, which means that this can't go that way, so it has to take the 9. This sum now in box 9 becomes a minimum of 23 or 22, 1, 3, 4, 5, and 9. And this now has to connect up, and the most we can make this is 20. So those numbers don't match up, so this can't be on the loop, which does that. Okay, but I still don't think that we've proved that this can't do that, because now that that isn't on the loop, we could do this and avoid the whole sort of consternation. Got it. So 7 plus 6 plus 4 is the max in box 6. Okay, so the question is what's, oh, that's interesting. If we don't take that 5, then what's the max here? We don't have 9 or 8, so 7, 6, and 5, 7, 6, and 4 is 17 as a max, and we have a min over here of already 19, I think. So it must take that, which means that it must do this. And now we have a max total of 20 and a min total of 19. Our min total in box 1 is 19. Our max total in box 3 is 20. Because this can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. So that's a 5 or a 4, I think. Because if it's 4, that's 19, and I think we could still make that work. So the great point GDC is making is that we talked about if this doesn't take the 2, then we are at 22. So this must take the 2. That is the one point of contact here. So now we've got our, I'm gonna like that and that and that are our sort of contact points. They're all done, so we can't do it anymore. And now we know that our total is 19 or 20. Yeah, ooh. Since we know it's 19 or 20, doesn't that take 2 and 8 out of the region sum box and 2? So this is 10. If this is 2, we would need a 7 or an 8, which it can't be. If that's 8, we're at 18 already. So this would need to be a 1 or a 2, which it can't. So that isn't 2, 8. Great spot startup, which gives us a 2, 8 pair here. And we can get rid of those corner marks. So now this is all, there's definitely a 4, and then the other 5 or 6, and that's at 19 or 20. Yeah, okay. So there's definitely a 4. That one's not 6. That gives us a 4, 5 pair here, which means that's not a 5. Which means that is a 5. Is that right? That seems right, right? Yeah, that can't be a 5 because we've already discussed that there's a 5 over there. That's the easier way of thinking that. That's 4. That's 5. Now we know it's 20, so this has to be a 6. 5, 6, 5. This isn't 5 anymore. Okay, so our total's 20 now. This has to be the 9, I think, right? Because the whole point was that we're trying to avoid 9 being on the thing. And we get rid of 4 down here, which puts a 4 in this position. Gives us a 6 here. Did I miss something? We didn't show 9 can't be on blue. Oh, we just needed the 2. Ah, thank you. Good point. What we showed was if, yeah, you can't, because it would be 9 and ruling the 2 off of it. Okay, thank you. I think the rest of that logic was sound though. This has to be 4, right? Yeah, okay, cool. How do we get the 5, 6 X-wing solved? There was a 5 over here, and this couldn't be, this was 4, 5, or 6, because it couldn't be 2 or 8. So that had to be 4. And then that made this the 5, because this was either 4 or 5 to make 19 or 20. So this became 4, that became 5. That told us this was 20, which meant that we needed a 6 with a 4 to get us to 20 here. That 6 gave us the 5 and resolved our X-wing. Can't we have the 2 in box 8, or did I miss some logic? Yeah, okay, perfect. Yes, if we don't take the 2, we have to take the 9, and we miss out on the 2, which puts us up to 22, which is more than our 20 here. Okay, so I think we're all square at this point. We know what these digits are. They are 1, 4, 8. Let's get rid of our corner mark and remove the 8 option here. We can get rid of this corner mark too, just tidy up our grid a tiny bit. So 20, we've got 6. This needs to be 14. Does it need 2? 4, I think it needs 2, doesn't it? I'm not sure what I'm doing with that. 3, 6, 7, 9 as the outies in box 1. 3, 6, 7, and 9. So, that's probably an easy way to think about it, right? We have 20 here, so this is 25. We have 9 already, so we need another 16. The only way to make 16 with 2 cells is 7, 9. Cool. So that's 7, 9 tells us 7 and 9. This now, I'm happy to pencil mark the full thing. That was an easier way to think about it from Audi's perspective. So 2, 4, 8. This is a 4, or not a 4, excuse me. This is now a 2 or an 8 also, by row logic. Wants to do something down here. Okay, so 20, we've got 5. This is 15 without these digits. If it's a 3, we would need 12. Which it couldn't be. I don't think this could be 3, because then that's an 8. We need 12 here. It can't be 6, 6. That's not a thing. 7, 5 is gone. 8, 4, and 9, 3 is gone. So that's not 3, that's 6. Now we're at 11. We need 9. It can't be 1, 8. It can be 2, 7. It can't be 3, 6, or 4, 5. So that is a 2, 7 pair, which gives us a 3 here. Now 2, 7 looks up and gives us the 8 and the 2. We get 3 there. We can get rid of a couple of things there. We've now got a 4, 8 pair in this column. We'll come back to that. So, well, not sure what that does actually. What are these digits? 1, or not 1, sorry. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Oh, that's way too many. It's way too many digits to be pencil marking. That's not 8 or 7 or 2. Maybe it's not too many digits. That's a 3 or 4. That's a 3, 4 pair. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I take it back. That was a genius thing to do. I'm a genius. 7, 8, 4, 4, and 8. People are saying things. What do we got? 2, 7 pair in row. That's okay. I think we got it. 1 and 2 here. This now is just a 1, 2. Ready? So this we should know. That's a 4. We can put a 3 and a 9 in there. This column, we need a 1 and 6. Oh, that's not resolved somehow. 1, 2, so 3, 4, 5, 9. 3, 4, 5, 9. That's not 5. That's not 3. That's not 3 or 9. So what does that mean? We need 20 here. We need 18 from these. So if that's a 9, these 3 digits have to add up to 9, which means for sure that has to be 1. So these two have to be 8. 1, 3, 5. It does work, doesn't it? 1, 3, 5, 9, and 2. I think that actually works. Which would make this a 6 and a 4. 3 in a corner. Row 7, column 7 plus row 9, column 9 equals 10. Yes. Okay, so 1, 9, 6, or 4. This is never 3. That is actually helpful. I'll take that. So 3 in this box is there exactly. Is that right? It is. That is right. That was very helpful. That is a 3 in the corner. Let's give it its due. Love it. Very nice. Very kind of you to get that for us. Hanging out in the spotlight. Now, does that tell us... What if 9's not on here? Can we get enough now? That's 5. We would need 15 without 9. We'd have 4, 5 is 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, there's still 2 ways that works. Okay, so we don't know. This is 12 though, so we need another 8. So it could just be 8 and then leave, or it could go 6. No, I don't think this can go up now because it would need a 2 on its way out, which it doesn't work. So this now needs to travel there, and it can't go up because then 4, 1 doesn't get us to 8. So I think it just has to leave and make this an 8 right here. This one now is 8. And, or sorry, that's not 8, excuse me. So, probably just some Sudoku magic. Should I just be this guy? I'm pretty happy to do it. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. That's not 1, 5, or 6. That's not 7, 7. 1 or 2, 2 or 1. Does that get me anywhere? 2, 5, 6, and 7. No, 2, 7. Yes. Haha. That's not 7. That's not 2. So we get a 1, 5, 6. Yeah, one of these is 1, which is what I was thinking. Okay, so we've got already on this line 12 here. We need another 8. So it could go 7, 1, and that's okay. It could go, can it go this way? There's no way to make 8 that way. So I think it actually has to turn. In which case it could go 2, 6, or 1, 7, I think. But I do think that that's not possible, right? There's no way to make that add up to 8. Oh no, 1, 7, shoot, I'm sorry. That's me being silly. We don't know that at all. Okay. Yeah. You guys are so on top of it. Like, the second I say something, there's like 10 people in chat going like, no. That is some faulty logic. I'm just like, I gotta keep the conversation going. So I just say whatever's going through my head at the time. Skoja's making a good point that 5 is not part of the total. So it's either 1, 7 or 6, 2 in some order there. So that can't be a 5. That one could be a 5 if the loop does that way. Meanders this way. Okay. So 1 plus 7 is the same sum, yeah, horizontally and vertically. That's a good point. Thank you. You guys so on top of it. Right. I mean, it's just, this is the whole logic, right? Do we have to think about, all right, I'm just doing it. We're just doing stuff. We're just doing stuff here because there's a lot of digits. If I had the tool installed on this computer, it might be helpful. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. but I don't have the mark tool installed on this computer. I was thinking where's 9 in this column, but 9's in one of these two spots. So 9 isn't one of those two. Yeah, we'll see that here shortly. None of those are 8 or 9, 5 or 6, or 1 or 3. That one's also not 7. That's not 2. Now let's do this one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Wow. Okay, so that's a 1, 6, which means that's not 1, 6 because we have a 1, 6 pair. This is not 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. This isn't 2, 3, 4, 7, or 9. Okay, what did that do for me? I saw the 1, 6 pair, which did allow me to do some kind of reductions here. We've got 1, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6, not quite. 2, 4, 7, triple. The 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 septuple. Is there a naked single somewhere? What am I missing? The 3? No, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 8? Is there an 8? Hidden 8? A naked? Thank you. See, this is what I was trying to find. Cool. That's why I did all those pencil marks, but still finding naked singles in that like sort of arrangement is tough. Okay, so we got 8. I don't think it can. I don't think that's possible, right? That doesn't seem likely. We'd be at 11 already. 2, 4, 1, and 5. Could it do that? I almost want to. It sounds ridiculous to even think about that, but 11. I want to. 2, 4, 1, and 5 is 10, 12, and 11. No, that's naughty. Too naughty. So I can do this. That's not on the loop. Yeah. Oh, minimum 6 cells is 21. God. All right. Fair enough. Yes, the triangular number of 6 is 21. So we need 20. Can this be 9? If this is 9 on the loop, we're at 12 already. We would need to connect with 8, which would mean how would we do that? How would we connect with 8? It couldn't be 3, 5. It could be 1, 7. Yeah, it could be. Ugh. All right. If it's 2, we're only at 5, and then we need. Oh, that's actually interesting. The other way around. If that's 2, we need 15. 9, 6. Like that. Ugh. All right. What am I missing? Couldn't we do 9, 6 here though? 2, 9, 6, 3 is 20, and then 9, 7, 1, 3 is 20, and that's a clean loop path. What am I missing? There's always a trick up your sleeve. Okay. There's nothing in the. I mean, we know all of the rules. It's not the rules. We know the rules. Have we done all of our dots? Dots, 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 dots. We've done all of our dots. It's just Sudoku and loop logic now. A 1, 6 pair in column 1. Thank you. That is helpful. So this isn't 1, and that isn't 6. So we get a little 5, 7 action. Does that help me? No. Do we have to color like 2s and 7s? I don't think so, do we? Okay. So yeah, there's a little tricky last step here. So if this is a 2, that's a 4, that's a 7. 5. That has to be 1 to make 6, 9. Okay, if that's a 9, we need, this is 12. It's going to have to be something like, if this is 9, then the path over here doesn't work somehow, or vice versa. Yeah, okay, so if this is not 2, 6, 9, that's a 2 and that's a 1, and we can't make this work. Because you need a 1 or a 2 to do the 8 over here. Right, if this is a 2, this has to be 9, 6. Now this becomes 5, 1, and then, oh no, 6, 2. What was I thinking? Oh, that's not right at all. I'm glad I double checked it. Why did I think, 9, 6. Yeah, I was thinking 2 becomes 9, 6, 5, 1. Oh, I don't want to do the bifurcation. I thought I saw it in my head, but I was wrong there. 1, 7. 2, 6 over here, right? 1. I think it works. 2 feels like the more restricted version, but it felt like that worked. 2, 9, 6, 5, 1, 6, 2, 4, 7. It's very, very much just doing it in my head. 5, 7, 1, 7. Oh, it doesn't work. I can see it. Let me see if I can see it cleaner than that. I think 2, 6, 9 means that 5, 1 here. No, does it work? What the frick? Oh. Doesn't row 8, column 2 become 7 in either case? That would be cool. If this is row 8, column 2. So the claim is this is always a 7. If this is 9, we're at, 2, 9, 6 makes this a 4, and that's a 7. If this is 9, then we're at 12 and we need 8. And we did argue that the only way to get there was 1, 7, right? Because 2, 6 isn't going to work. And 5, 3 doesn't work. So then that has to be 1, and then that has to be 7, and that's 7 in either case. Wow, good spot, Skojo. I have a logic with row 7, column 7, where the potential partners to add up to 10. Column 7, row 7, column 7. Okay. I'm happy to look at that in a minute, but I think I'm super pleased with the way Skojo resolved that. So I'm more than happy to proceed. That's very visible as a sort of path progression there. I'm not sure if that actually does get us all the way home. Unfortunately, it doesn't, does it? Maybe it will once we sort of resolve the rest of the Sudoku over here. 9, 4, 5, 1, 4, 9, 2 now. So we need this version. 6, 5, 1, 6, 1, 6, 1, 6. Let's save that until we draw our path here. So we do that and then that. And that is a remarkable puzzle. Really, really very nice, very challenging construction. Love it. Whew. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much to the chat. Let's throw another thank you up in chat because I definitely leaned on y'all for that one. That was a very cool puzzle. But yeah, there was a part where I feel like actually, like chat definitely helped. That was a key, it definitely sped that solve up by a long time for me. But there was also at one point where I looked up and there was just so much chat going. I was like, I can't read all that. I just got to start thinking about it. Right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the video. Tune in tomorrow for another one. Take care.